Alright, so Asmongold has stopped playing Diablo Immortal. What a shock. But why did he quit Diablo Immortal? Let's find out.
Hi guys, it's me. I'd like to talk about our favorite game, Diablo Immortal. I started playing on release. I've been level 60 now for a few days. I've gotten some of the Paragon levels and I've spent a couple $1,000s. I think I've had the traditional Diablo experience that Blizzard has so adamantly promised Diablo Immortal would provide.
Really? I think you just fell for one of the biggest problems in this game. And you killed it yourself, but we'll see what he say.
I'd like to give my opinions about the game. This isn't a full review, it's not a first impressions, it's somewhere in between. And I'd just like to talk to you guys about what's happened, and since then, I've quit the game. So if that's a little bit of a spoiler of how I feel about it, there you go. So first thing, let's start with the campaign. Actually, that's not true. Let's start with the PC port itself. Listen,
That is
I
so
don't
bad.
play games on my phone except for Twitter. That's it. I'm not gonna sit there, play a little game on my phone, like try and look and see what's going on. I don't want to do that. Last time I did that was Pokemon Blue, and that was in the 90s. So
Alright, and I don't want to sit at a computer at like 8 hours a day, not seeing my family, not seeing my kids, just to play a game either. So, what's your point?
it was a long time ago. We don't play games on the phone. Thank you, Blizzard, for making a PC port of this game so I could thoroughly have it abuse me on my full 27-inch monitor instead of just the small 7-inch one that I have in front of me here.
I got you.
So, I would say that Blizzard didn't try with the PC port, but not trying would imply that the word try is in their vocabulary.
Very true. The PC port is disgusting. It's really, really bad. If you're playing Diablo Immortal on the computer, you're gonna have a bad time. It's really bad.
And I don't think it is. Tap to join. They did nothing. They did nothing. It's like one of those fucking I'm pretty sure one of the third party ones would be better than what Blizzard has put together for
Oh
Diablo
yeah.
Immortal. Is it awful? Is it the worst thing ever?
Nah.
No, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's not the best thing ever either, and it's a lot closer to the worst than the best. If you click off the screen, your audio pauses. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of settings that many games just have, and this game doesn't have for PC. I feel like there's a lot of sliders that could be added. I'm not talking
Oh
about
yeah.
even a boob slider. I'm talking about just simple sliders for text sizes, different UI, different types of interactivity that you would have on a PC port that just simply does not exist. And so what I really want to talk about today is just the in general lack of effort with this game. Because whenever I hear people talk about, oh man, Diablo Immortal is such a good game, but it's just riddled with predatory microtransactions, I think to myself that you are fucking crazy. Not because you think the microtransactions are bad, but you think you'd be a good game if it didn't have them.
So alright, so this is interesting. I mean, we all think differently, and of course, I mean he's a PC player. I'm pretty sure what he's gonna say, but I feel it is a good game if you compare it to other mobile games there is out there. I'm not sure how many mobile games Asmongold has played, but I hope he's played a couple. I mean, if he says that this is bad, it kind of implies that he hasn't played that many, because most of them are really, really bad. But yeah, let's just see.
Well, fuck no, it wouldn't be a good game. Diablo 3 came out 10 years ago, and it's the same thing. What do you mean it'd be a good game?
What do you mean the
We
same
already
thing?
had it. And people fucking hated it. Remember Diablo 3 release? Oh my god, it was a nightmare.
Oh yeah,
And
it
then
was
the
so
game
bad.
was garbage forever. And Diablo fucking Reaper of Souls, oh my god.
Oh
What
yeah,
have they
I
done
feel
with that
you.
game in the past decade?
Nothing.
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 Like, I mean, really nothing. Done nothing with the game. Diablo recently I guess
That's
it
so
was
true.
when did it come out? It's like May or something like that. Diablo 3. So it just recently had its 10-year anniversary, and
Oh,
across
really?
10 years of innovation, we've gone from killing the end boss of an act to killing the end boss of a rift.
Yeah, that is what I hate about Diablo 3. I mean, it's only rift runs and it's so boring. I mean, Diablo 2, man. Diablo 2 was a lot better. Even Diablo 1 was better, even though that story was like the story was good, but like it was like just one main campaign and then you just grind Diablo at the end. Pretty much like Diablo 2, but that was fine. You know, that was good. You could grind like the 86 areas or whatever, 85. I don't know what that called. But you know, this different area you can do like whatever you want to do. But in Diablo 3, it's only rift runs. And that is so boring.
Wow, what an incredible like imagination that these developers have. And Diablo Immortal is no better. Imagine
Well, so actually, it is better because you don't do the rift runs every time. The only reason you do the rift runs is when you have enough of these rare crests, or in your case, the legendary crests or crest. Yeah, so to get the gems. But I mean, otherwise you don't do it. There's no point. You might do the challenge rifts if like just to upgrade your amulets and stuff like that, like the gloves. But otherwise, you just run around in the open world, pretty much open world. But I mean, you meet people, you can team up, and I do that all the time. We have a good time, and I meet a lot of funny guys. You know, I do talk to them, and they talk back. So it's a big difference between Diablo Immortal and Diablo 3. I mean, Diablo 3, you just go in, and then someone boosts you to like 70 or what it is, right? And then you start grinding rifts. And here you can do a lot more. I mean, of course, it's not perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that what you're saying sounds weird because it doesn't really fit.
my surprise running through the rifts that I spent $25 a piece for in Diablo Immortal, going through some eerily familiar tile sets and
I agree.
procedurally generated maps. Am I the only one, guys, that's
No, no,
seen
no.
all of these different maps before? I've gone through. I used to
Yeah,
farm.
yeah. I don't like the
My
graphics
character
at all.
sucked for a while, and so I could only farm Act 1 in Diablo 3. Man, I go through the different maps and it's like, oh, I remember this tile set. I remember this
Yeah,
layout. I
same,
remember
same.
this
I agree.
locator. It's just so shameless. It's so effortless. And you can easily say, oh, wait a minute. Blizzard didn't make this. NetEase did. What do you think? They brought this out without Blizzard playing it? So
I
let's
don't think
compare
so.
two different universes here, and you can tell me which one's worse because I'm not really sure. So, Universe
Interesting.
1 is that Blizzard didn't even look at the game and didn't really care about the fact that the majority of its end game content was lifted from a game that fucking was the biggest disappointment of the 2010s that's now the biggest predatory game in the 2020s. So let's say Blizzard didn't even fucking look into this. They didn't even try. They didn't even care. And they just said, yep, that's good. Where do I sign? Put it on out there. Okay, that's universe number 1. Universe
That's a
number
bad
2
universe.
is Blizzard actually thoroughly looked through this game and came to the conclusion after focus group and testing and, like internal meetings that this is up to par. So is it
No.
better that they don't care and they just let it go out there, or is it better that they thought this was good enough? Well, I don't know, guys. I think either one's circling the drain.
Or it could be that there's more universes. And in one of those universes, NetEase and Blizzard work together to make something as cheap as possible that works on mobile. They said, this is okay. You can take these tiles, you can convert it and use it on mobile. And sure, I agree, it's bad. But I mean, when Diablo 3 came out, I thought, this is okay for a week. And then like 3 weeks in, I was like, dude, I hate this game. This is so bad. And I didn't play it. And I couldn't play Diablo 2 because there was like the graphics were like fucked. I couldn't like fix all the screens. There was I could download some stuff and make it work, but it was really really bad. So I was like, I'm missing Diablo 2. if only Diablo 3 were on phone, I could maybe play Diablo 3 on my phone, you know? That's pretty much how good it was. And we got it now, you know, a couple of years later, like, I don't know, 10 years later. It's a bit too late, but that's pretty much what happened, I think.
So I'm just so fucking astonished that so many people are eating this bullshit with a silver spoon. And actually, to be fair, it's more like a gold one if you're playing the riffs with 10 keystones enabled.
Yeah, but we don't,
So
right?
anyway, you know what the campaign reminded me of? It reminded me of, you know how Hollywood has run out of ideas for about 10 years now? And so every 2 or 3 years, we get a new Spider-Man movie. Every 2 or 3 years, we get a new, oh, remember that really funny comedy from the 90s where half of the jokes in it would get you canceled? Well, guess what? We're going to make part 2 of that comedy, and all the actors are old now. And so that's what it reminded me of the campaign. Because every single one of those movies are devoid of soul, devoid of passion, devoid of, you know,
Not all of them, right?
excitement, of creativity. And the only thing that they're reduced down to is shitty fucking jokes. And hey, remember this joke that's a meta joke from the first movie? That's exactly the way that I felt about the campaign. It's that, oh, we're bringing in all the main characters from Diablo 2, and oh, we've got some of the main characters from Diablo 3 as well.
You don't like that?
Let's bring in all the greatest hits, and then somehow we can finesse some gray-bearded 30-something-year-old man into emptying out his credit card before his wife finds out and takes it away from him.
Would you rather have totally new characters in a Diablo game than having the old characters back? I don't really follow. I mean, of course, new is good, of course, but I mean, it's a Diablo game. They could have made a different game, called something else, make new characters. But I mean, I was happy to see Chelsea. You know, I found that not disturbing at all. But I guess you do.
Holy shit, man. The campaign, I will give Blizzard this. The campaign is well voice acted. I'll say that. And you know what? I think that's true. And that's about where it starts and where it ends. Now, obviously, I paid to win throughout the game, and so the campaign was of little to no challenge to me.
It's still
but
pretty
from
easy.
Other people that I've talked to who did not pay to win, they've had relatively a similar experience. The game itself is just very shallow and lackluster. Whenever you go and you're fighting a boss in Diablo Immortal in the campaign, the thing is that after it does 2 abilities, you can just pretty much go wild, because that's pretty much all you're going to get. That's about it. You're just going to get these 2 abilities, and then eventually the boss will die. I got to the point where my strategy was to not move my character. I wanted to not move my character as much as possible, and just stand in every AoE, stand in every red circle, any bad zone, I'm taking all the damage, and it doesn't matter because, you know, I didn't spend $2,000 to move out of red swirly boys. So I'm sitting there healing through, using potions through everything, and everything's totally fucking fine. So the campaign, in my opinion, was, again, it was like a reanimated, actually, let's take, you know, they've got the necromancer in game, it's like an exhumed corpse of an amalgamation between the Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 greatest hits put together and then thrown out there with no real sense of creativity, interest, or any level of creative integrity. And
I do get it, but I mean, okay, so standing in all the red and the swirly stuff, and that was fun as hell, man. But only 2, only 2 abilities. That's the only thing. Like that's the only thing we got. How many abilities do you want? And what are you comparing to? I'm kind of getting the feeling that you're comparing to other stuff than mobile games. I mean, this is a mobile game. I do have people who did have issues actually with at the end bosses, you know, in the later stage in the game. They had to actually grind up a bit just to take it. I mean, but it's not that hard. It's still a mobile game, you know. I wouldn't expect it to be really, really hardcore either. But yeah, I do understand. Like when you pay that amount of money, it kind of takes the edge off, right? I can fully understand that.
And this has been put together, and it's just walking around like the first guy in Men in Black begging for sugar, okay? And you can, and it's pretending to be a human. That's what the campaign was like to me. I thought it was trash. It was boring.
Why
And
was it
also,
boring?
let's talk a little bit about. I don't even. The fact is that I I don't even know if we're gonna talk that much about the microtransactions, guys.
We
Did
done
you
that
know
enough,
that
right?
Diablo Immortal is pay to win? Did you know that they make you spend a lot of money? God.
Like when I hear this, like Diablo Immortal is pay to win, like what are you winning? Is it PvP? Is that what you're talking about? Like, is that what everyone is talking about? Is every game about PvP? Like I beat you? Is that every game? And when you say like they trick you into paying, I mean it's all up to you, man. If you wanna pay, that's your choice. If you're paying in a game to get power, it's gonna be boring because you will not have any goals because you will beat the game early. And if that is your goal, like I just wanna start Diablo Immortal, I just wanna pay all the money that I have, and I wanna finish it so I can start another game, then sure, I do understand it. That's a very quick and easy way to get over with a game. But unless you want to like play it and like find the gear yourself and take your time, I mean, I'm not saying you're supposed to walk around like a snail, you know, but I mean, you could play a little bit here, play a little bit there, you know, as you play other games. You know, why not do that? Why do you have to go and be the best? You're not the best. And even the best guy is not gonna be the best in a year. It's all wasted money. So the issue here is actually that you cannot see an offer and not click on the button and buy the stuff. That's the issue I see, and that is why you're pissed off. And I would be too.
Guys, did you know that they have all these like really fucking like predatory enticing deals to try to get you to spend money in the game? Did you know that? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
We all did. It's a fucking predatory pay to win piece of shit. Everybody knows that. So like I don't even really want to get that far into it, but I do want to say that it's always funny to go and check on, you know, the first day the game came out. The first thing that I did is I put like a counter of how much money I was going to spend on a game, and I started.
So here's the issue. You do want to spend the money, and you always wanted to spend the money before you even started the game. And I do agree that it's predatory and people fall for it. But why not help people understand that it's bad without buying everything and talking about, you know, being the best? Why not help the people and say, you know, let's go free to play, boys. Let's everyone go free to play. So we can like show them that we don't agree with this monetization. Why not help them instead? You know? Instead of pushing, I mean, now you're pushing for any other game that comes out. It's gonna be like, let's win, boys. And if you don't have a job, then yeah, sure. You know, grinding is nice. But if you have a job, you can never play with your friends because you can never grind as much as anyone else who don't have a job. So you would like to be able to buy your way into the end game, but it's being like used. So everyone is using it just to gain an advantage in PvP. I think it's pretty sad actually to hear that people are taking it so serious that they actually kill a game just to be the best.
Started as free to play, and that lasted for about 5 minutes. And then I killed Leoric. I don't know
5
why
minutes.
Leoric is back again. I have no idea.
Because he's a demon.
But hey, guys, greatest hits. And so anyway, we kill Leoric, and it pops up. It's like, look, check out the store. We've got a special offer just for you. And it was an 800% bonus. And all I had to do was spend 99 cents. That's right, guys. It's the same price as a McDonald's drink.
I do agree. Like when you have games that has very expensive microtransactions, it's really bad. I do agree. I mean, like no one can afford it. But then you have these other games, and it's not only Diablo Immortal, but it's other games that has like, you know, 99 cents. You know, it's like nothing. And when you see that pop up in a game that you really like, I mean, unless you buy it, you're gonna have a disadvantage to everyone else because everyone is buying it. And this is why it's so damaging to even have this type of, microtransactions, like these microtransaction schemes that they have that, will boost your character in a way. And it doesn't matter if it's cheap or if it's expensive. If it's expensive, then, well, not that many people will buy it. And, maybe it's easier to be free to play because not so many will have it. But if it's very cheap, then everyone buys it. And that makes free to play very, very hard. So that is actually even worse.
You got to buy that, and you were able to get a bunch of cool new little items, and you got bonus items. So, remember back, sorry about that, where the fuck's my cat? There it is. Remember back in Mists of Pandaria, whenever they added in bonus rolls to WoW? Yeah, well, they have those in Diablo Immortal, but instead of actually spending lesser charms of good fortune, now you're spending United States dollars. And I don't even, as I said, I don't even want to get into the pay to win because I think that people have beat that dead horse so much that it's not even, it's a crater in the ground now. It's not even a horse. Everybody knows the game's fucking pay to win. It's garbage, and that's it. The thing that I want to talk about in here is that even if it wasn't pay to win, it would still suck. And I want to talk about the
It's gonna be interesting.
Lassal, the Flamebringer,
the dragon,
the fucking, and that's a pretty fair way to say it, is the Painbringer, because I didn't realize how painful this game was until I fought him. So what happened was I went and I decided to fight this boss, and it was an 8-man raid. Wow, a Diablo raid. That sounds cool. I like playing Lost Ark. Maybe it's gonna be like Vaulton.
Oh my god. Really? You thought you thought it was gonna be like Vaulton? So you are okay. So you're right now comparing to a PC MMO game, a raid boss. All right, it's gonna be fun.
Wasn't like Vaulton. So I walk in, and immediately upon walking through the gate, a door closes behind me, and the boss immediately becomes active before I could even see him on my screen. So then my raid group goes through, and obviously the boss has such tremendous mechanics as stops and casts a 3-second shockwave that has an indicator right here, and then whenever the indicator and the ability goes off, the damage is right here. It's just so
true, actually.
I mean, I don't know if somebody wants to edit this over what I'm saying here, but like, it's just fucking, it's in the wrong
I agree.
place.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
It says it's going to be here, the animation goes off, it's here. So
Yeah.
it's just fucking broken.
That's even worse on
Finally,
PC.
after that gets done, he decides that he wants to fucking Superman all across the map. And so you've got him jumping from like one area to another, but the problem is that the game is so badly coded because guys, it's a phone game and they only had 4 years to make it. So you can't expect a whole lot. And they make this game, and the guy is jumping around, and he's like teleporting. Like, you can look by frame, he's like going like this, man. It's like a glitch in the fucking Matrix. He can't even figure out where he's supposed to be, jumping around, smashing people. And then finally, if you do too much damage to the boss, this is a little bit of a little fun surprise mechanic here, is that if you do too much damage to the boss, he has an ability where he'll throw a rock on the ground. And then Blizzard came up with this crazy idea where, like, if you have the boss throw something and then you have to line of sight it, so it's a big AoE, you have to line of sight with the rock that he throws on the ground. This is, again, groundbreaking, revolutionary.
Oh no, it's not. It's not.
Blizzard has come up with this game, and sometimes he doesn't put the rock down.
Oh, that never happened to me, though.
Everybody's just sitting there. Oh, wow. So, where's the rock? Well, I guess we'll die. And then everybody fucking dies. And that's it. So, this is the first boss. So, you want to assume that the first boss is probably the boss that the most players have done. And you also want to assume that the first boss is the first boss that most players have done, which means that it's received the most reports, it's received the most testing, and it's received the most bug fixes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it's only going to go down from here. And whenever I was doing this fight, I was thinking to myself that this is what I would expect to see if I went to a community college and I was looking at people's midterm projects. This is like a community college game design midterm project. And you know what? I think it's about a B+. It's not very good. And I was thinking to myself every time that I wiped on this piece of shit boss, how much better Volton is. How much better literally any other boss in Lost Ark is. How much better, like, you think about Shaper. You think about...
Oh, my Shaper, what?
Cirrus. You think about Cortex, Maven, all these fights in Path of Exile. And I understand Path of Exile is a very complex game, and Diablo, you know, scratches the itch that maybe Gauntlet gave people back in 1980.
Yeah, okay.
So I understand that this is, of course, true, and it's supposed to be simpler, but there's a very big difference between something being simple and something being for the simple-minded. And I think Diablo Immortal is absolutely designed for somebody who's simple-minded in mind. And
you know what? I have to say something. So we're talking about a phone game. You don't like phone games. And many people don't like phone games. And that is well known. People don't like phone games. It's been like that even since we got phones. Like we got Snake, Nokia or whatever. But like the most people who plays on mobile don't play on PC. Most people who play is either very, very young kids or elderly people like my parents playing Bubble Witch Saga or whatever they're playing. If they started this game, their head would explode. That boss mechanic, they would not figure that one out in like 5 weeks. So yeah, of course, like a super well into a World of Warcraft player who has done every raid in World of Warcraft like flawlessly or whatever. I assume, Asmongold, that you have done that. Of course, this is bad. And comparing it to Path of Exile, one of the greatest RPGs ever, it does put it into perspective. And I have said this many times before. MOBA games are not as good as PC games just because they look good. Because MOBA games look good today. They actually do look good. The depth in the game is not as good. Simple as that. But I would never compare it to a PC game. That is also very true.
And I think that makes a lot of sense because, you know, it's just... Honestly, guys, I look at the combat in this game, it's 5 fucking buttons. And it's not about how many buttons the game has.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. How many buttons do you want on a mobile? Like you could have the wheel scroll a bit, so you can have like maybe 15 buttons, but you really want that in a mobile game?
That are good, but it's about how dynamic those buttons even are. Like, you look at the legendary effects, and half of the legendary effects are, oh, this slows your opponent by 20%. Oh, this makes your ability do 10% more damage. What the fuck is this? Like, is this supposed to be fun? Is this supposed to be a good time?
It's supposed to be simple.
What a transformative, amazing item. It's just lazy. It's fucking lazy. And I'm not sure that... I don't know why that they released this game.
I do know why they released this game. They released it because it's simple and more people can enjoy Diablo Immortal and maybe start with Diablo 4. You know, people don't know about Diablo 2. Some people know about Diablo 3. But I mean, there's more people out there. And Blizzard need more people because they lost so many people. I don't know. I know they trying to grasp people outside their comfort zone. I think it's interesting. I do think they might have been a bit too bold, but that is why they did it. and the mobile market is making that much money, especially when people just buy everything they see. And I think they do need the money.
I don't understand. I don't understand because it's so depressing to me. It makes me so mad. And like I tried to play the game on stream and I tried to do the meme and this is what I was gonna do. Oh, it's pay to win. I'm gonna spend $25 a Rift and it's gonna be a big thing and it's gonna be funny because I was gonna buy fake $20 bills and I have a lighter right here. I was gonna light each one on fire every single time that I did a Rift. I thought it'd be like a funny little thing. But I can't even pretend to do that. I cannot, I can't play this game. It's like every single time that I'm playing this game, I feel like I'm slapping myself in the face. Like, why am I doing this? What am I doing with my life that I'm playing this piece of shit? And again, I want to emphasize, this has nothing to do with the pay to win. The game is fundamentally bad. It's a worse version of Diablo 3. And
Oh
I
no.
want to just go through and but Asmon, you didn't do the PvP. Oh, really? I didn't do the PvP? Oh man, I guess I missed out on somebody who spent $10,000 killing me because I only spent 1,000. It's a fucking whale wars.
Yeah, I don't like that. You're
Who
right.
the fuck wants to play that?
No.
Like,
No.
I watched some guy, and it's like, oh, I'm like one of the #1 free-to-play players. I watched this guy do PvP, and he just gets farmed by whales. He's like, I don't know, he's like a really big minnow, or a really big plankton. And you know what? The whales don't fucking care. They eat them anyway. And how low is your self-respect that you allow yourself to fucking grind a game for 18 hours a day to get farmed by people that have a better job in real life than you do? I can't
That's
believe
true.
it. It is astonishing to me that anybody would put themselves through that level of torture.
Have you ever thought about it this way? How fun is it for someone with a high-end job, wife and kids, who still loves to play games, getting farmed by people that have 8 hours or 14 hours a day to grind? How fun is it to be killed by those people every day? It's the same thing. The reason they don't make videos of it is because they don't have the time. They have to work. So when they come home, they don't do videos about how bad grinding games are because they can't compete, because they'd rather find another game and play it. So instead of making videos like all these gamers can do to cry about pay to win because now they can't win anymore because some people are paying. But it's the same thing. We are all different. And the game is not bad just because of that. I mean, yeah, sure, the PvP is bad. I do agree. I don't do PvP because I am free to play. Not because I can't afford. I mean, everyone has 99 cents, right? But it's just like a principle that I don't want to put money into this game because the monetization is so bad and I want to enjoy the game instead.
So, where does this leave us? Well, this leaves us with our beautiful and grand announcement of Diablo 4. Oh boy. It's going to be different this time, guys. We promise. This is going to be a live game that's going to be updated. Oh, really? Like Diablo 3 is...
Oh, I knew you was going to say that.
Think back right now. In 2016, what Path of Exile was like in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want you to think about what Path of Exile was like whenever Maven came out. I think this was Ritual League. Think about how much of a change and how much of the game has changed from point A to point B. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And then I want you to take how Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls played in 2016 and compare it to how it plays 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking game. It's the exact same fucking game. So, yes, I can't wait for Blizzard to release Diablo 4 with basically no fucking innovation, no effort whatsoever really put into making the end game anything more than a grind fest, and with probably conveniently misleading PR language to make people believe falsely that the game won't have a way to pay to win.
Oh, okay. So you think just because Diablo Immortal on the mobile is pay to win, they will introduce that into Diablo 4? Well, that would suck balls, man. I really hope that won't be the case. But yeah, Blizzard has let us down several times, so we just have to see. But I'm pretty sure it will not be the same thing because the mobile industry is vastly different. It's vastly different people playing it. So if they do that on Diablo 4, that's gonna be really bad. But they did it on Diablo Immortal because it works. And it works. People are buying this stuff. So
But I'm just so, like I'm so fucking triggered about this. I can't stop thinking about it. Like I actually got out of bed yesterday to fucking go live and yell at the screen about this. I was so fucking mad.
did it help?
Like Diablo Immortal is fucking garbage. It's garbage with or without pay to win. Diablo 3 is fucking garbage. Diablo
Yeah, I agree.
3 Reaper of Souls is fucking garbage. They have done literally no effort to make the game innovative, to change its design, or to make it anything more than what it was whenever it pretty much just came out. I'm not expecting a lot out of Diablo 4. And whenever Blizzard, I can't believe this, Blizzard says, oh, wait a minute, no, the store is gonna be it's gonna be anchored around optional cosmetic microtransactions. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a lie.
Anchored around? Is that an exclusionary statement? No, it's fucking not. And so whenever I'm reading this, I'm thinking Wyatt Chang. Oh, you can't buy gear in Diablo Immortal. You can't do that. You can't buy any gear.
Yeah, you can't.
Just buy stuff and buy gear
True.
to make your character more powerful. Oh, you got us. You got us. You can only buy gems, which are what all of your power comes from. And so I'm not going to buy into this purposefully misleading PR language bullshit. I'm sorry to
that's
say,
good. That's good of you.
Skins in Lost Ark give you stat bonuses. There's no
I think it's bad. Oh, also, by the way, in EVE Echoes, the baby from EVE Online has nano cores that you can put on your ship that makes you able to enhance your ship in some ways and change the colors, like different skins, so to speak. But some of these nanocores is actually only purchasable through real money, and the stat bonuses that you can have on that one is actually vastly better than the one that you can get in game. So that is actually the only pay to win aspect in EVE Echoes today. But it's also the part that I don't like. So, for example, if they put that on Diablo 4, like you can buy skins or like appearances with stats, that would be really bad.
Can't give you any sort of a combat or non-combat such as experience bonus. Black Desert Online did this, and also speaking of Black Desert Online, you don't buy gold in Black Desert Online, you buy skins and you sell them. And you can mention here that conveniently Blizzard did not say whether these skins will be BOE or BOP. And you know what? I wonder, because the fact is I think Diablo Immortal is going to be doing incredibly well. It's like a 4 point something on the Apple Play Store. Nobody gives a shit about Metacritic. Whenever the normies see the game, they're going to look at it on their App Store and they're going to be like, oh, wow, Diablo, I used to play that. And then they're going to log on, and before you know it, they're tapping Mad King's treasure troves all the way home. And Blizzard's laughing all the way to the bank while Bobby's flying around on his fucking helicopter. And that's the world that we live in.
That's the sad world, yeah.
Ask me why I'm not excited for Diablo 4. I'm going to be honest, guys. It's going to have to earn my trust.
That's true.
Over the past 10 years, Diablo has done nothing but lose it. The game has made no innovations.
I would say Blizzard.
No changes. It's done literally nothing, while its competitors on the market, like Path of Exile and Lost Ark, have done miles, ran laps around this game. And the only thing that Diablo has that is better than those two games is maybe the combat feels a little bit more visceral. I'll give you that. And you know what else? It's simpler. Well, you know what? I don't really want to play a game that its main fucking benefit is that it's simple. I want to play a
true.
good game, and
Yeah,
Diablo
we all want a
3
good game.
Reaper of Souls has not been a good game for the better part of a decade.
That's
And
true.
I am so disappointed. I'm disappointed with Diablo Immortal. It's brought in hardly any new ideas except for the
True.
ideas that came from the monetization department. The fights themselves are one dimensional garbage. The raid bosses are somehow even worse. The rifts are repetitive and not
Yeah.
dynamic at all. And the greater rift system is just bigger number, better person. Well, that's not the way it works in Diablo Immortal. It's bigger number, bigger bank account. I'm sorry to
True.
say, I think Diablo Immortal sucks. It's lowered my excitement about Diablo 4. And to be honest, it's even tempered a bit of my expectations of World of Warcraft Dragonflight. Because any company that would have the lack of self respect to slap their fucking name on this piece of shit, I can't imagine anything good coming out of it. Thanks for watching.
All right, so you have all right to be disappointed. You had such a high expectations, and it's a Diablo game. Of course, you should have high expectations, but it's also a mobile game. Now, if they release World of Warcraft on a wristwatch, would you kind of think it would be like World of Warcraft 2? No, it would probably be less less than Warcraft. Yeah, I do understand it. I mean, you did pay to lose. You did pay all this money and the game got boring. So yeah, I don't know what to say. And but this is the reason why I'm telling people to be cautious with what you're paying for in games, especially mobile games, because they are predatory. This is what happens. And if you don't really know what you're doing, you're gonna lose it no matter how good your character are. I mean, your brain works with getting information that is making you feel good. And if you pay for stuff that gives you that stuff, you're not gonna find it in the game enough to suit that need again. So you will have to buy it again. Diablo Immortal is supposed to be a casual mobile game for you to play when you like and have a good time. It's not supposed to be a hardcore game for PC players instead of Diablo 4 or instead of Dragonflight. Or for those people who didn't like it in Lost Ark, they should not go to Diablo Immortal. If you have that mindset, this game is trash. And if you compare Diablo Immortal with Path of Exile or pretty much any other PC game, it's gonna be trash. I agree. But remember that this game is not for hardcore PC players. And I'm sorry that Blizzard didn't understand this. We all saw this coming a long way. As soon as they started with, you guys don't have phones, that was like, what are you guys talking about? Why did you announce it? But yeah, that is what Diablo Immortal is. But yeah, Diablo Immortal is still a great game for me. I do not feel forced. I have not bought anything. I still have a good time. But I see your point. And thank you everyone for watching.